Okay, we have another figure to take the volume of, and that is the volume of a pyramid. Okay, the volume of a pyramid. So first, let's get the definition of what a pyramid is, which probably most of you know what a pyramid is. A pyramid has one base with triangles going up. So it looks something like this. You've got a base, and then you've got these triangles going up. Now, I do want you to notice how this can create a right triangle here, because we may have to use that to come up with some information about our triangles, okay? Now, the volume of a pyramid is V equals 1/3 base times the height. Now, B again is that base area like we've done before. So if, let's say for this here, this has a rectangle. So if it was labeled that this was 3 and this was 2, we know that the area of a rectangle is length times width. So that would be 3 times 2, which would be 6, and that would be this B that we would fill in here. The H, of course, is your height, okay? And that would be this distance from here to here, our height, okay? That would be your H if you were looking for that. So let's look at some examples and see how we would use this. First, before you can use this particular formula, you have to make sure that you have a pyramid, okay? So here we do have a pyramid. We have a base with triangles going up. So we're going to use V equals 1/3 base times height. Now our base here is labeled as 7 and 7. So our base area, the area of our base, is going to be 7 times 7, which is 49. So I know I can put that in. 1/3, 49. And then our height is given to us here. Our height is 10 centimeters. So now it becomes a calculator problem. We're going to key in the calculator. 1/3 times 49 times 10. And that gives us 163.3. This is 163.3, and again, it's centimeters cubed. We always do cubed when we're talking about volume, okay? Let's look at example 5. So here we have a base again that is 7 times 7, so our base is 7 times 7, which is 49. It's a rectangle, so that's length times width. Okay, we do V equals 1/3 base times the height. All right, I already know my base. I just figured it out. It's 49, my base area. The height is given to you. It is 9. So let's key that in and see what we get. 1/3 times 49 times 9. Okay, we get 147, and this time it is meters cubed. So our answer here is V equals 147 meters cubed. Now, if we go down to 6, you can see here that we're going to have to do a little bit more work, okay? We're going to have to do some more work to come up with this one. Now, I do know that I have a base here that's 32, and this is a square, so I know that all of these are 32s. So my base area, I can go ahead and do that. It's going to be 32 times 32, which is 1,024 centimeters squared. So I do know that much. And remember, I'm using V equals 1/3 base times height. What I don't know is my height. I do know right now that this slant height here is 30. I know that, okay? So if I were to draw a line here to the middle of this and a line down, then we've created a triangle there, okay? Now, if I go halfway across through here, that means that this distance here is 16. And they're telling me that this distance here is 30. That's my hypotenuse of this triangle. And I need to find this measurement here, the height, okay? That's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to put in to my Pythagorean theorem. So I've got 30 squared has to equal, that's 16 squared plus x squared. Okay, 30 squared is 900. 16 squared is 256, and I just key those in the calculator to figure them out. Subtract 256 from 900, and that gives you 644. And again, I keyed that in the calculator. And then if you take the square root of both sides to get x, the square root of 644 is 25.4 centimeters. Okay, so this x here is 25.4. Now I have the height. So now I can fill in to 1/3 base times height. Okay, my base is 1024. My height is 25.4. And then we're going to key this in the calculator. So 1/3, 1/3 times 1024. Oops, I forgot to put that in parentheses. Can't forget that. Times 25.4. Okay, we get 8,669.9. So 8,669.9, and it's centimeters cubed. And this would be our answer for that one. It's number 6. Okay, try to pause the video for number 7 and see what you get, and then come back. This is very similar to number 6. Okay, hopefully you paused the video and worked this problem. Again, we're doing V equals 1/3 base times height. So this time you'll notice we're going to have to draw our triangle to come up with this height here. Okay, there's our right triangle. We know that this here is 8. And if we take half here, we know that this distance here is 2.5. Okay, so we know to find, we're looking for this, x. We're going to have to use the Pythagorean theorem. This is our hypotenuse. So 8 squared has to equal 2.5 squared plus that x squared that I'm looking for. All right, 8 squared is 64. 2.5 squared, when you key that in the calculator, is 6.25. Okay, we're going to subtract 6.25 from both sides. When you do that, you get 57.75. And again, I just did that all in the calculator. And then take the square root of both sides, and that gives you x equals 7.6 meters. So this x here is 7.6. That's the height that we need for this h right here. Okay, now my base area, B, my base is a square, so it's labeling a side as 5, so that's going to be 5 times 5, because the area of a square is a side squared, so 5 times 5, that's 25 meters squared. So now I can key into my formula. The base area is 25. The height is 7.6. And then I key it in the calculator. So 1/3 times 25 times 7.6. And we get 63.3. So it's 63.3 meters cubed is our volume. All right, guys, as always, if you have questions, let me know.